Right, today we're going to look at some caladiums that I've just bought from Morrison's supermarket. Reasonable price, dare I say cheap. And then we'll have a quick look at what's going on in the hothouse in regards to interesting things that are starting to happen. But anyway, so I sort of had a little bit of a shuffle about in here, sort of spread out some of the palms and whatever, but let's have a look at the caladiums. So, like I say, Morrison's, they did these a couple of years back, and I don't know if they've done them last year, but if they did, I missed them. But what we've got here is 4 different types, and they're not got species names on them, so they're just mixed caladium. But what you're looking at is some incredible colours. You know, you're not relying on flowers for the colour. The leaves are the main event on the caladiums, and sort of similar, you know, you call them elephant ears. They're not really similar to colocasia, but that sort of vibe. Similar sort of care for winter. You can dry store the tubers or corms. But anyway, so let's have a look. How much were they? So it says indoor caladium, £7. So this is exactly how you buy them. I've already split the plastic so I can get them out to have a proper look. But when you've got leaves like that, who needs flowers? Even though this one has actually got a flower bud on it, the flowers are quite insignificant. But yeah, when you've got fantastic foliage like that, you don't need to worry about the flowers. And look at this one, deep pink red. Let's get that out of the way. This is one of my favourite types because the leaves, again, can't give you the species, but the leaves are a bit thicker, so they tend to be a bit hardier. These are a good one for going out in the garden once you acclimatise them. Obviously when you've got decent temperatures, you don't really want to put them out if the nighttime temperatures are below 10 degrees. I'm going to be keeping these in the hothouse for the summer just to see what sort of growth we get. Like I say, some of these, they're not giant leaves by any means, but some of them can get reasonably big. And again, just the colours. So yeah, a nice deep red pinky with the green outer leaves, and there are several in each pot. So this one's, you know, quite a lime with the dark veining. This one I've already potted up into a bigger pot, so I'd really go for at least a 3 litre pot to keep them going all summer. Plenty of feed in there. Nice deep burgundy speckled leaves on them. And then we've got a sort of lighter, a pinky one here, which I've already actually put in a big pot, sort of multi-plant pot with some colocasias and Canna Stuttgart. And I grow these outside, but they just burn and they sort of struggle. You need them in the sun to get the best growth out of them. But then again, the white variegation tends to burn very easily in the sun, so especially when you get leaves that are pretty much all white. So yeah, I'm going to grow that inside here, so it's got filtered light but plenty of heat, so that'll be interesting to see how big that gets this year. But yeah, so I mean, as a, you know, big planter with lots of plants, that's a nice little, the caladiums are a nice little filler at the bottom there, just to give it a pop of colour. And yeah, you won't really find anything other than obviously flowering plants. If you just for foliage, you won't find anything as interesting, I don't think, as caladiums. And they're not everyone's cup of tea because they can be a bit fussy, especially over wintering. But for £7 a piece, you pay that, if not more, just for the tubers, and you're not guaranteed them to come up. But yeah, so £7 for Morrison's. Good deal, I think so. So yeah, these ones, this one I'm keeping up as a pot specimen. That's already planted up in the big planter. So these two little ones I'm going to put at the other end of the hothouse with the permanent plantings. I'll plant them in there and we'll see if they pull through winter in here rather than dry storing them. Right, so just another quick update really on the caladium that I bought as a tuber. So that's now starting, that's red flash, and that is now starting to colour up. And I did do in a previous video not long ago. The other one I bought was a tuber, caladium. This was frog in the blender, and that's quite an interesting one as well. There's actually a little bit of red on that leaf, but in general they tend to be sort of a splashed variegation. Right, so a few little highlights before I go. The bird of paradise. We've got a flower spike on one here, and we've got another flower spike here which is now starting to open. So it's literally only just started a day or two ago. So obviously as the weeks go by, more and more petals will come out, and so that's always nice to see. So yeah, in general the stuff, the permanent plantings are all doing quite well. Like I say, everything in here other than that frog in a blender caladium with a shoe, yeah, has been left over winter in here to either die back or just over winter cold. And I'm going to have to take these spider plants out because they've already gone mad. But yeah, so all the colocaceae have come back nicely. And as we can see, the Jack's Giant kept 2 leaves over winter, which I've since cut off. But it's just opened up a new leaf here. And I'm going to say it's nearly 3 foot. That's massive. But yeah, that's the problem now, because a bit of a bad move putting that in there. But I was hoping that's going to get a bit taller, so the sort of understory stuff will shine as well. So we've got the marigold, which has just opened up a new leaf, probably about 1 foot. The redemption starting to get the pink in it. So same, repeated this side. Pharaoh's Mask survived winter no problem. It's actually, the main plant is here, so we've got a couple of nice leaves on that. But I've just noticed down there there's a new baby coming up, so they're starting to spread. So we'll have plenty of them soon. So yeah, all looking quite good there, all doing well. What else did I want to show you? Maybe just the sort of missed it again, but this is one of my smaller flamethrower palm, which is sort of deep dark red when it comes out. It's now starting to fade to green a bit, but yeah, that's doing quite well. Yeah, all the tropical palms are doing well. The foxtail is looking quite good. It's pushing out a big spear there. And yeah, I did actually, someone was chucking out some plants, one of my wife's friends. So believe it or not, this big, I don't know what type of philodendron it is, sort of more of a reddy type, that was going to go in the bin. So I saved that. That's in a tiny pot, so I've repotted it and put it on a pole because that is a climbing type. And yeah, also they're going to chuck out this big monstera, which was quite droopy, still a little bit droopy. They actually just chucked it outside, and that's that outside for days on end, bone dry, because this was last week where there's no rain. And so I've put that in a big pot, put a big pole on it, and yeah, that should grow away nicely now. So yeah, all the allocations that I left in here. So bearing in mind, again, not heated, just frost protected in here, and all the allocations have survived and pushing out new growth to various extents. Actually, that big leaf there, which is starting to yellow, was there all winter. Now starting to push out some new growth there. So yeah, everything's done pretty well, really, considering it's sort of flooded a couple of times with all the heavy rain we had. Yeah, so I think we'll leave it there. So get down to Marston's and get your caladiums if you're into that sort of thing. Make an excellent bedding plant for summer, if not a very good house plant, but they will die down in the winter. So grab them while they got them. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.